people? Welcome to another episode of the Flex and Rant Show. We've got a lot to talk about.
Just a bit.
Firstly, you like money top?
Yeah, of course.
I'm having a break from United. I'm going on a month's break, a few months break. I'll take Andrew.
Going on an international break. Big up, Andrew. Look at that. Look at the top.
Phoenix Rising. That's my new team. They put in a lot of heart into their performances. Got some good players.
Got big drugs there now.
You know what I mean? And I think he's played his last game for them. This was nearly turned into a Phoenix Rising podcast, isn't it? But yeah, no, thank you, Andrew. This is my shirt right here, man. Phoenix Rising. But right, man, where do you want to start? Let's start with the Manchester derby,
bro.
Actually, no. Wait.
Let's start at Juventus.
Yeah, don't start at Manchester derby.
Yeah.
Let's start at Juventus.
It was a mad game, you know. It was a mad game. We flattered to deceive, like we've done many times. First half, like I tweeted, I was falling asleep, bro. Legit falling asleep. Like we weren't.
Were you just tired, or you?
No, I was falling asleep because we weren't getting out of our own half, and we were riding our luck, bro. Like the way we were riding our luck was embarrassing, and I was thinking, bro, like, what have we come to do here? You know what I mean? I saw loads of people tweeting saying, "Oh, like this is better from us." I was like, really? Like, what are you watching? Do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't see it.
We weren't too bad first 20 minutes.
I thought it was horrible, bruv. Like, I thought it was horrible. Like, I honestly did, because it was like, we had a very clear game plan to just try and soak up the pressure. But my thing is, I've always said about Italian teams, yeah, if you play quick football, yeah, high tempo, because their league's not like that, you can catch them out. I always refer to what Arsenal done at the San Siro, yeah. They absolutely mullered AC Milan, bro. Do you know what I mean? And it wasn't because they were better than AC, because they weren't. But they just went there full speed ahead and absolutely slapped the shit out of them. Do you know what I mean? And Italian teams, if you're intense, you can beat them, because their game's very slow, it's calculated, it's tactical. You can't try play them at that.
And against Juventus, look, man, I said after the game, I didn't want to dissect the performance too much, because I knew.
Euphoria,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I just needed to celebrate.
That was the first time I felt like this is Manchester United again. You know, the ones big European away win.
Yeah.
Like this,
even though you know you shouldn't have won.
Yeah, bruv. Like, it felt like being United again. Like, do you know what I mean? We just beat Juventus. Like, that felt normal.
Okay,
that was normal.
So you felt that.
Yeah.
What did you feel after yesterday's game?
I felt disgusted after yesterday's game. Obviously, we were there. We had to walk down the stairs, City fans looking down at us, screaming at us, telling us we're fucking shit.
That was like one of the feelings that I had. I was like, you know what? What can I say back? Yes, I can say your stadium's never full. And
I just
all
put
of
my
that
hood up and kept walking. I didn't even look back, blood. Them man were looking down at us, saying,
because
you're
the way the stairs
fucking
were going
shit.
as well. Yeah.
That's what they were doing to us, bro. And we couldn't argue.
And you know what else they said? You know that chant when they're like, just like the Scousers,
just like
you
the
live
Scousers,
in
you
the
live in the
past.
past.
You live in the past. Just like the Scousers, you live. And I was like,
oh my Lord, bruv. Like,
are we
they
starting
were giving
to become
us
that?
The absolute
If we're not
worst,
careful.
Yeah, bro.
All we'll talk about is what we were. You know what I'm saying? Like what Jose does.
Yeah,
like
this is it. Like 3 fingers and that, blood. That's what man are talking about.
That performance, look, the midfield three, we said, every Man United fan said, not just us. Like we saw it all over social media before. With that midfield, we were in big trouble. We knew that.
I said it before the game. I said, where's the creativity? Who's going to get our attacking players on the ball? Do you know what I'm saying? It was embarrassing. Like, he deserves no defense from any of this. Like, any bit of abuse that this guy's getting or blame he getting, he deserves it all. All of it for that performance, because there was a very clear agenda, and it was just go there and don't get embarrassed.
Yeah, maybe not get embarrassed anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I have to say? I have to say this. People who follow me on Twitter, you'll know. I can't stand this excuse of how many of our players would get into their team.
Yeah.
They're just better than us. City are a million miles away from us. I get that to a certain extent, that they're way ahead of us, because they are. And we've got some players who wouldn't get into their team.
But what they done to us, they don't.
Lazy.
What they done to us, they don't do to teams like Burnley, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And the thing is,
Southampton and them man put up a better fight.
How can you not have a shot in 94 minutes of football?
Yeah.
The only shot we had was the penalty.
But man are blaming our defence, you know. Oh, because Jose needs defenders. Is that why we can't have a shot on goal in 94 minutes?
And the thing is, Rants, as well, yeah. Remember, Jose himself, yeah, he has said, yeah, we're not really great at defending.
Yeah.
So in effect, we need to focus on our attack.
Yeah.
What attack?
What attack?
What attack? When we didn't have the ball.
Bro, Marcus Rashford was on the edge of their box, blood. He was our furthest player forward. If you're playing on a counter-attack, at least leave a man up. We didn't even leave a man up.
Break.
Man weren't breaking.
Even if we did have a good little interception of play, good little tackle or something, and you try and play
every man
midfield,
was in our half, blood, the whole game, bruv. Like, that's it.
So how much of it then? Because look, I don't want people to think like, well, I know you don't care a lot.
I really don't care.
But you know, I do look at both sides of the argument. But I don't want people to just think that we're completely deluded to the fact that City are better than us.
Yeah,
because they are. But how much of that performance?
Yeah, but Juventus were better than us, and we still beat them.
That's why the analogy is dead, people. This is what I'm saying. How do we, even though we were lucky, I get that.
Do you know what I'm saying? We're better than Brighton. They still beat us.
How much of that performance was City are that good, well drilled, know what they're doing, direction, players, playing for the manager, ethos, all of that, versus we were poor, bad tactics.
I think
starting 11.
I think 60% of it was we were poor. Do you know what I mean? City were better than us, and I think 40% of it is. 40% of it is these guys are brilliant players. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because as good as they are, like, we allowed them to do what they did to us.
That's the thing.
I mean, there was no resistance. Do you know what I mean? There was no resistance. And the thing is, if you're playing on the front foot, City can't do what they did. Do you know what I mean? The goal that they scored, like the last goal, I think it was 44 passes. We watched them play in front of us because Jose allowed that. Do you know what I mean? We didn't press them. If we pressed them, that wouldn't have happened.
But when you say that as well, it's important again because it's like whenever I make a point, I don't know, I have a habit of doing it. Whenever I make a point, I think of like the counter argument that someone's going to say as I make my point. It's probably a bad trait, but I know what people are going to say in terms of, you know, the pressing thing. You can't just press City; they'll play around you.
I'm not saying press Liverpool,
you can't. I'm not saying press every single ball every single time.
But
there's going to be times you got to contain.
In zones,
there
bro.
You go.
You can stay nice and compact, around the box, but higher up the pitch, you can press and try and stop the ball from getting there. There's different types of defending. At the end of the day, Liverpool managed to get to a Champions League final without an amazing defense. Why? Because you defend from the front, bro. That's what football is. Barcelona, that's what they do. They defend from the front. They press in zones. That's why they can play centre mids at centre back and get away with it.
And the key is, you look at those those teams like your Cities and your Liverpools, even Chelsea to a certain extent. They win the ball back in areas where their attacking players receive the ball higher
up the pitch, so they can counter.
Martial was receiving the ball
at the corner flag
and deep at the top of his own half.
Like, winning fouls by
where
a
the fuck
corner
are we
flag.
Supposed to go with that? And then everyone's on his back. Not just about Martial. I don't want to make it a Martial show. Or Jesse or Rashford coming. Whoever picked up the ball, even if it was Herrera, anybody. Whoever
we're
picked up the ball.
We're counter-attacking from the edge of our own box, blood. That's where we're countering.
There you go.
Not from the halfway line,
exactly.
You know.
Or the second pass. So you might pick the ball up at the edge of your box, where your second pass in your transition will be to the halfway line. Yeah. That wasn't happening for us. Our second pass was like on top of our box.
Yes.
Like it was just so poor. I've got a quote for you. I know this is going to piss you off. Jose's comments from after the game. Quotes, not a bad performance at all. Far from it. One thing is a bad performance. Another is a performance with mistakes.
But
because he's saying that we only lost the game because of mistakes.
He's scapegoating players again. Because what he's saying is, I've set these guys up a certain way. These individuals have failed, so it's their fault. He's very good at putting the blame on other people. He's very good at it. Football's a team game, innit? Like, you defend as a team, and you defend and attack as a team, bro. Do you know what I mean?
So,
like,
we were in the game until the 80th minute or something. Even the home supporters felt that. But third mistake punished us with a result that I don't think we deserve. Right, let me just correct Jose right there. Even after we scored the penalty, bro,
they just kept oozing, bruv. They were just
all over.
They just
turned it up exactly when they wanted to turn up. We did after we scored the penalty. Yeah, obviously when it went in, me and you were jumping up and down, thinking, right, come on, we can. This, like, you know what I mean? Because we were in that mode of like we keep coming back, so this could be it, mate. We didn't have a shot in the whole game, so let alone after that.
So how could we be in the game, bro? Them man are playing champagne football. We're playing some fucking Stella Artois wife beater football, bro.
So why do you
shit house
think he said
football,
that? Why do you think he said that?
Because he likes to do that, bro. It's manipulation. We were never in the game. They scored so early. I said before the game, one thing we need to do is not concede early.
First 12 minutes. And after the first 5 minutes, I think, the first couple of minutes, Bernardo had a shot. We were getting peppered from early. They were nervous all over the place. A City fan rang in the radio, I heard it today, and he gave his opinion on Man United. He was like, those players are playing with their hands behind their back.
They are.
You can't ask those attacking players to be comfortable defending like that, playing that deep. Like, and that's from a City
This
fan.
is it, bro. Pablo Zabaleta said, that Anthony Martial was more fucking worried about him than actually attacking when they played. He felt sorry for man. He was like, bruv, what are you following me for?
Zabaleta, you know.
Bruv, Jose had Martial doing security guard.
And he was playing
blood.
up front that game.
He was doing security guard, blood. And that was the same game that he got thrown under the bus after the game, remember?
Yep, for his defensive duty when he was playing up front in a 2.
Yeah, he said, Martial doesn't like the defensive side of the game, bruv. You know why? Because he's a fucking striker. That's why, blood.
It's as simple as that. Look, people say people need to do stuff for the team and stuff, but there are certain players, that you just need to allow them to do their thing, and you need to build your team around.
He's our Eden Hazard, bruv. Like, you have to build the team around allowing this guy to isolate players one-on-one, because that's his biggest strength. There's no one in the team better than him at doing that. So you need to put him in as many opportunities to be in a position to isolate fullbacks. That's what he does.
Why do you think Alexis didn't start this game?
Because Jose's high, rude boy.
He's been smoking.
Alexis led the press against Juventus. We look so dangerous here with him there because he presses well. He holds the ball when it's fizzed into him. The fact that Alexis Sanchez didn't start is actually ridiculous.
I didn't understand. I just don't understand it. I said, like, unless he had an injury that I'll find out after the game, I'll take it back. But I couldn't see any logical reason. Why?
Ridiculous,
and then you knew with that bench that we had with Lukaku, Mata and Sanchez, you just knew that Lukaku would be coming on and being up front. So that will probably be the end of that little run we've had with Rom not in the team.
Bro, it's a disgrace, isn't it? And then the thing is, Rashford played up front on his own. I knew Rashford was going to die, bro, because he can't do that role. Nah. We've seen it. He
was pinging him some ridiculous balls, though, as well. Like,
I know, but Rashford couldn't even do that against Brighton, blood, when he played up front, like, on his own. He can't do it, bro. Do you know what I mean? You put him in there, and you know what it is? Like, it's a stat padding thing, innit? Because Jose will be like, Rashford's played more minutes than any player of this age. Bruv, he's not mature enough, like, and he's not good enough, bruv. And I'm a fan of his, but he's not good enough to lead the line, bro. Like, when they gave him the number 10 shirt, I said, what is this, a publicity stunt? He's not there yet. He's maturing. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not there. Like, between him and Martial, the golfing class is massive.
Oh, it's huge.
You know, when people were comparing them, and I was arguing with people on Twitter, now you look stupid. It's like the same. It's like the same people that were trying to compare fucking Theo Walcott and Gareth Bale at one time. Remember? They're like, Walcott's better than Bale. Yeah, where did their careers go? Gareth Bale's at Real Madrid, blood, and Theo Walcott's cleaning boots somewhere.
The midfield, You look at Matic, had a stinker. Herrera had a stinker as well. He played poorly.
Matic has been having stinkers,
but Matic is consistently having stinkers this season as well, and he looks like he's aged and declined very, very quickly. Like last year, there was a bit of form that he had, which a lot of us, me included, I was saying the first sort of 6 months of last season, I was like, thank you, Chelsea. Half of that was probably because they got Bakayoko instead and he was shit. So it made it that bit better for us. But on top of that, he was turning in some decent performances.
Matic is done out here, but you see the thing with Matic as well, he slyly picks up loads of little niggles, like, do you know what I mean? People don't realise, like, in the World Cup, he had to have an operation after, and then he started pre-season late. He picks up these little niggles, brother, and I think his age and everything's catching up with him, and he never had pace before.
Never.
You know what I mean? But now, brother, he's a liability.
But look,
and the fact Jose's reluctant to drop him, Andreas Pereira can't get into the squad.
That's
again,
ridiculous.
Man, I have to blame him for that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things that he's not to blame for, but in terms of team selection, there's a lot of things he is to blame for.
And Fred can't get a look in at all. Like,
£50 million pasta. That's what they man said.
To not even try.
Man's praying for us on Twitter. Like 50 million, that's what it gets you, bro. It gets you a strong prayer, blood. You know what I'm saying? And the prayer wasn't even good enough. Man said, Lord, protect us. And he didn't protect us.
It's looking bleak for him now. It's looking bleak for him now because he's in that situation that, like, Lindelof was probably in, where it's like, you know, if you don't play well for even a portion of the game, you're gone.
Most players, unless you're literally
Lukaku,
unless you're Lukaku, Matic,
Matic,
Lukaku, Matic, or Smalling, and Ashley Young,
and Valencia up until a point. Now that's dead.
That's it because he booked out on Instagram. But before that, if you're a certain man, you know if you have a bad game, you're done out here, innit? With Jose, that's what he's like. He doesn't inspire confidence. And my thing is, he can moan about he wanted a defender, this, that, and the other. He come out the other day saying, like, I'm punishing the players by playing them at left centre-back because we don't have a left centre-back. You sold Daley Blin, you dickhead. And we've got Marcus Rojo there, blood.
Forgotten man.
He's a left-footed player. He's a left centre-back. So it's not that we don't have left centre backs. You sold our best fucking centre back, bruv. Daley Blind was our best centre back. He just didn't fit the profile that you like, bruv, because he wasn't 6'5". That's all.
Well, Bailly's another one, obviously, who's just becoming even more and more of a footballer.
Yeah, exactly. And there's talks of him leaving in January. If he goes to Arsenal or Tottenham, like they're saying, he's going to do very well there.
I'll be pissed.
Do you know what I mean? Now, and I hope that that Jose's out before Bailly's out, blood, because Bailly's a top player. He just needs confidence.
So you see these little couple of results that we've had where we're building a bit of momentum. This is why, even when people accuse us of being like maybe negative when we've just won, because you made a good point in your fan cam of saying like, this is why you don't look at it by a game situation.
Yeah,
because what happens is you get caught in the sentiment. Yeah. But we just won. Oh, but we just won last week.
Football's an emotional game.
But when you look at it overall, mate, we're 8th. We're scraping through games.
Bruv, our goal difference is -1, blood. 8th and -1. Under LVG, were we ever this bad?
Well, we conceded like 20 odd.
Bruv, were we ever this bad under LVG?
Remember when I said...
Were we ever this bad? Answer the question. -1 goal difference, Manchester United.
And people laughed. People laughed and said... Even, to be fair, even Mark disagreed with me. I said in the Sunday night calling a few months back, I don't think we're really any further better or progressed than when we was with LVG.
We're not. We're no closer to Man City.
Gone backwards.
We're no closer to Man City than when Jose took over.
No.
We're further away probably. So that tells you what job he's done. Do you know what I mean? Because man could talk till the cows come home, about, he wanted a centre-back. He spent 50 million on Fred that he doesn't play. Why didn't he spend that 50 million on a centre-back? Why not? Because Fred wasn't a necessity to you, clearly, because you don't play him. So
no, none of his signings.
That's it. So none of your signings are a necessity, bro. Like you started 2 players that you've signed. You signed 11 man, and only 2 of them started in the biggest game of the season. So that means we can't trust you with our money, which is why I said the board were very right not to back him and give him any more money because he's wasted.
Do you think they will in January then? Because
of
the position,
don't give him a penny, bruv. Tottenham didn't spend no money, and they're well clear of us. Do you know what I'm saying? And they finished below us last season.
Yeah.
So what's happened?
And the thing is, what else is going to be very interesting because there's a lot of people who said, yeah, but come on, man, Jose stabilised us, got a couple of trophies in his first season, got a second in his second season, 19 points behind City. Well, really, progress this year is only challenging then because if you don't finish second, if you don't finish third, you ain't done any better. And if you don't finish at least second, you haven't been on the same path.
He ain't stabilised us, bro.
We are not getting any better. And
bro, if we were stable, why are we 8th?
There you go.
Why did we go from 2nd to 8th if we are stable? What? Because we didn't get a centre-back? Don't chat shit. You know, it's got nothing to do with that. We are never stable. What Jose does well is he papers over cracks. He brings in players and he just does a job.
He buys more months as well.
Yeah, he buys more months. That's what he done.
He's wicked at doing that.
He brought in a few players just enough to get us that Europa League and the thing. Done that. That objective was done. We got second in the league, more down to other teams. Liverpool focusing on the Champions League and dropping unnecessary points in the league. And so on and so forth, bruv. But that's what he's done. He's been buying himself time by doing little things. But people are deluded, bruv. We're no better now. No, how did we manage to buy players, not sell players, and be worse off? How does that ever happen?
I'm saying we spent money. We have spent the
Tottenham
money.
Finished below us, bro. They didn't sign anyone.
I want to touch on the side of the argument though that we have a lot of players who aren't good enough. Like a lot of players.
Yeah, but it's his fault because he didn't get rid of them.
Who is that a fair point though? That like, yes, we've got the Jose situation because he's tactically inept now and sets us up negative, etc., etc.
He sets us up to shithouse football games.
But that part of like certain players, because you look at players like Matic,
he bought him.
To a certain extent.
He bought Matic.
Fellaini,
40 million for Matic. 75 million for Lukaku. This is all his signings.
That argument. What do you think to that argument?
You can say the players aren't good enough, but I tell you what, you give Pep or Klopp this squad, and them man are challenging, bro. It's that simple. Because like I said to my friend today, I said, you know what? We've got David De Gea, we've got Dalot, who is a talented player. We've got Luke Shaw, we've got Bailly and Lindelof, we've got Martial, we've got Fred, we've got Pogba, we've got Rashford, we've got Mata. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like a lot of players you just listed.
We've got Pereira, we've got Alexis Sanchez. We've got man that can actually play football, you know? Like, don't let this sob story of, I didn't get my centre-back. Why are we not having shots on goal? That ain't got nothing to do with a centre-back.
And when he's saying the emphasis needs to now be on attack because we're shit at the back.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. The analogy of like you look at the Liverpool.
But if the emphasis is on attack, why didn't we have a shot on goal in 94 minutes, bro?
Can't excuse
so the
it,
emphasis ain't on attack.
I wasn't trying to hear it. I tweeted out straight after the game. I'm not trying to hear this whole how many of our players we get into City's team. It's bullshit. It is. It is. I'm sorry. It just is. And when you have that,
how many West Ham men are getting into our team, fam? And them man sourced us at home.
And we had it the same after the Juventus thing where people were saying, yeah, but it's Juventus. Look how good they are. It's lucky it was only 1-0. Like, I'm sorry, excuse me, I didn't get the memo. When is this bar all of a sudden just dropped to here?
We never used to be shook to
We're
go
fucking
to Juventus,
Manchester United, and it's like, oh well, the City are better than us anyway, man. So we shouldn't have even tried. Nah, forget that, man.
But this is what it is. Them man were like, it doesn't matter who we put out, we would have still lost, bruv. This is the attitude that a lot of these men have now.
Exactly. I don't understand.
Like what has happened to you? What has happened to you, lot? Like you've literally allowed Jose to lower the bar so much to the point where you lot ain't even like you don't even know who we are anymore.
Graham Souness, he hates Pogba at the best of times.
Yeah,
he might dislike Man United. And a lot of Man United fans don't like him because of his over criticism of Pogba. Some of what he says is true, but a lot of it,
most of what he says is bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? I think some of what he says is true. He's questioned Pogba's his consistency and things like that. He hasn't been consistent.
Yeah, but I don't think you can question his consistency when the whole team hasn't been consistent.
That's where it's a vendetta.
You know
but what he said,
for me, I don't think he's inconsistent. I think that he's playing in an inconsistent team, bruv, because he consistently played well for France in every game of the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? And if he played in a good team, he would consistently play well.
He just picks on him because of the price tag.
Bruv, it's not just the price tag though, because Lukaku costs just as much. Do you know what I mean? But no one gives him the same stick in the media, bruv. They don't like Pogba because it's the hairstyles, it's the bling, and it's all that, bruv. It's envy, innit? That's what it is. Them man are just hating.
Well, on him, I don't know where he was going to go, actually. But he said to Gary Neville straight, give me a yes or no answer.
Yeah, and Gary tried to play politics,
Is Jose Mourinho, for those of you guys who didn't see it, Souness was saying in the Sky Sports studio to Gary Neville, is Jose Mourinho and the coaching staff at Man United getting the best out of these attacking players? Yes or no? Gary Neville went, I don't know. And then tried to bring the board into it. What do you mean?
But he's a donut, fam. The same way, like he was saying, I'm not sure about Martial, this, that, and that. Martial would have had you on toast, blood, right back. You know them ones there? He would have ended Gary Neville's career, blood.
Listen,
even in his prime.
Don't start going into disrespecting
but it's the truth, though.
Yeah, I know, I'm just saying.
How can you
don't go
look
overboard?
At him? Nah, listen,
Club legends, don't go overboard.
Allow your bullshit. Since Ryan Giggs, we ain't had a player at the club, that can pick up the ball like that, and just ghost past, man, blood. Ghost. You know the ones, no stepovers, no nothing, just ghost. You know what I'm saying? Bruv, when man's saying he's not sure about Martial, bruv, you're sure, blood, because you wouldn't have been able to handle man, even in your prime, innit? Let's be honest, respect that. So when man's like, oh yeah, but Martial ain't been a big player, but man's 22 years old. We bought him as a youth. So when he's saying, oh, Martial wasn't a big player before, of course he wasn't. You know, what kind of dumb bullshit is that?
But it's not Gary got
Don't chat shit. Gary ain't got no point.
No, not about the Martial thing, but when he's saying, like, you look at the recruitment in them 4 years, 5 years.
So?
With the managers, with the players, like, it's way deeper than just Jose.
Bruv, it is, but guess what? Ed Woodward never bought a player that the manager never asked for, blood, because Ed don't scout players. So he's only buying man that he's been asked to buy.
Or he just blocks the moves.
But this is it. He blocks the moves.
He don't scout.
It doesn't make
he don't tell you
sense.
who you have to get, but he might say you can't have that.
Bruv, like I said, yeah, of course. Because he knows what makes sense, innit? Them man have like a strategy when it comes to purchasing. So does every business. My thing is, for Gary Neville to come out and not answer the question, I said I don't know. That's a cop-out, fam. It's a fucking cop-out. Graham Souness asked you a very, very specific question.
And simple.
Do you think that the manager is getting 100% out of these players? I've always said he isn't.
It's very easy.
And it's a fact, blood. If we were getting 70% out of everyone, man would be in the top 4 now. Comfy.
And that's only 70%.
Only 70%. And that's if he was selecting the right players too. We'll be comfortably in the top 4 if we were getting 70. That's all we need. Do you know what I mean? Man, look, man couldn't even get a 20% out of Eric Bailly, bruv. He went from our best centre-back to our worst centre-back because his confidence went.
And you can see with Lindelof when he's been playing.
Lindelof has been amazing, bruv, in the last 3-4 games. Why is that?
He was
confidence.
in the same form as Bailly, like, which was bad.
There you go. And he turned it around. You know why? Because he's confident. Because he didn't get any better. It's just confidence.
Yeah, he's always
so imagine if you could instill that confidence in all of your players.
Talking about a short amount of time, about a couple of months.
Bro, get 70% out of these man. Even if you get a 70% out of a Fellaini, blood, Do you know what I'm saying? You're not doing that. Do you know what I mean? You're trying to bleed 100% out of dead wood like Ashley Young and them thing there, bro. Guys like that, bro, that are on their way out of the game, and you're still pinning all your hopes on these guys. Like, the guy deserves all the fucking blame that he's getting, bruv. Because it's all his fault, bruv. At the end of the day, like, yes, maybe he didn't get the players that he wanted, but as a manager, your primary job is to get the best out of whatever players you've got. You get managers like Sam Allardyce and that come into clubs, and they're not allowed to sign no one. And they turn their fortunes around.
You got to coach your way out
because
of
you have to coach your way out of situations. You don't buy your way out of situations. That's what he's always done. He goes to clubs, he brings in 7-8 players in his first season. He averages 7 signings a season. You look through his resume because I've dug it up. He averages 7 signings, blood, when he goes into clubs. And he patches things up. Fucking Patch Adams, rude boy, that's him. Well, you can't do that. You have to coach your way out of this job, and you come up short because you're not a coach. You're getting found out now, bro.
He is getting found out. I think we clearly didn't turn a corner. Obviously,
no,
we're not back to square one because we never got off square one.
Yeah, that's it.
Like when you break
like
it
that,
down,
man,
did we really get off square one? And it's not flip flopping because some people can say, "Yeah, the other day you were celebrating against Juventus."
No,
well,
you know what
I
said?
was celebrating against Juventus because I fucking flew all the way out
credit,
there and walked away around Turin, and I was happy that we won.
But I said credit where it's due.
Yeah,
I have to give Jose the credit for that game for the simple fact that he made 2 substitutions that made impact.
Yes.
Mata came on, he scored. Fellaini came on, he was a handful.
Yeah.
The 2 changes he made worked.
And I know that must be not difficult for you, but because people don't think you're actually a fair guy.
But I'm a fair guy. Listen, I always call it how I see it, but I always said the guy was a con man, and I stand by it. All he was doing was buying time. Like, people were messaging me saying, I bet you're pissed United lost because Jose's going to keep his job. I'm not pissed United lost because I know he's a fraud. I know he is. Do you know what I mean? So now when I'm seeing this, like, you lot are seeing what I've been saying all the time. There's nothing that Graham Souness said that I haven't been saying for a year and a half.
It's clear we've been saying that for a while, and like, you can't. I don't see an argument for there being that he's getting the best out of anyone.
Yeah, he's not getting the best out of no one.
Not.
Who's improved under him? When Graham Souness said who's improved, has Lukaku? No, because his numbers have gone down. Do you know what I mean? Is Sanchez the same guy at Arsenal?
Alexis has been Space Jam, bro. I can put the basketball there and suck the power straight out of him.
Is Martial any better now? No, he hasn't improved. It's just that he's getting a run of games.
Rashford's gone down,
Rashford's
but has even more game time.
Yeah, Rashford's been playing more but gotten worse. Why is that? Because you're not coaching.
Doesn't start games.
Fred destroyed Man City in the Champions League last season, yeah? And now he can't even get a game.
Eric Bailly, not
So why are all these men looking dead, Jose? Whose fault is it then? What is it? Because you didn't get a centre-back?
Even his love child's looking shit. Even Matic now that bad.
Matic is dead, bruv. That's the guy that you wanted, bruv. Whispering sweet nothings. You must have left him bare voicemails on that for man to come. 40 million and what? 40 million down the drain. The man your Matic plays again, bruv. Nightmare. You know them ones there. We don't want man in. Terrible player.
He was shocking again.
Terrible.
He was bad. Ashley Young, contract extension for a year. You said last week, innit, that you would give him an extension.
Yeah.
Like
even before talk of it, he deserves the contract extension.
I had to think. Look, I think when I look back, sometimes I think like, you know, he's trashly young and trying to go in on him. I think sometimes I do look at Ashley Young and think, you know what, he has got a lot of fight though, and he does put a shift in. And when he does get exposed, it's because, hey, guess what? He's just not a right back.
Well, this is it.
Like, he's just not a defender. So
but he's
against top level
he shouldn't
wingers
be,
and stuff,
he
is going to get exposed. Like, there were times that someone said to me he had a trash game yesterday. Yeah, Sterling was picking up all sorts of positions, giving him all sorts of problems, especially in the first half. So, you know, I understand that. I get that. But over the balance of it in his United career, he's done well to resurrect himself because Jose gave him the chance. Under another manager, they're going to go get a proper right back, a young one who's ready to go bombing forward and do that. But he could only do what he done, and I think he's shown a lot of fight.
Bro,
and he deserves a 1 year.
He deserves it because we need someone like him in the dressing room, especially with all them young players.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He can play multiple positions. He can play right back, left wing, right wing, bruv. Like, you can play 4 positions. Like, and the thing is, if we had a better manager and played a better brand of football, he could still do a job on the wing if we kept the ball. Do you know what I mean? Because he reads the game very well.
Yeah.
And he can whip that crossing from the left-hand side, bruv. Like, his delivery got us the second goal against Juventus. So he still has something to offer. Yeah. He's fit. For someone that's 34 years old, he's got a great engine, bruv. He's about 8 stone, bruv. A man's like Mo Farah, blood.
He's skinny.
Do you know what I'm saying? He's up and down.
And he doesn't really, like, I know some people might say, what? He doesn't get left for toast.
He doesn't. You don't get burnt out.
Do you know what I'm saying? He doesn't. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, your Sterlings and your Hazard might, but even you had Hazard.
He deserves an extension, but he doesn't. He shouldn't be wearing the fucking captain's armband, and he shouldn't be playing week in, week out. And that's down to Jose again, bruv, because who picks the captain? Jose does. So if he picked the captain, then he's the one who picked who got the contract extension. So you can't blame the board for this one. That's another L for Jose, blood.
International break now. We come back and we got Crystal Palace at home.
Yeah.
You're looking at that thinking we should win it.
We should, but you know what I'm saying.
And we got some difficult games as usual, because that's what the Premier League is.
Yeah.
Jose obviously predicted by like December times we'll be in the top 4.
We won't.
All right, let me just go through the fixture. So we've got Crystal Palace away.
Yeah.
Then Young Boys midweek. We should win.
Yeah,
that.
we'll slap them.
Southampton away.
Yeah.
Yeah, should win. Then you got Arsenal at home.
Yeah.
Fulham at home. Valencia away.
Bruv, they're all winnable,
games.
but who cares? Do you know what I mean? Right now, I don't have any faith in this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you never have faith in him.
No, but it's at an all-time low, bruv. It's pathetic.
What about when because you was a little
After
bit happy.
yesterday's performance, he should have whooped.
Rants, you was a little bit
Serious.
You was a little bit happy when you said that this Jose I'm here for, giving it to the fans.
Yeah. But it's not consistent. I knew it wouldn't last.
Is it back to the old same shit?
Bruv, I knew it wouldn't last. That's what he does. He's the master of manipulation. I always said to you, everything he does is calculated. You know what I mean? He buys himself time. That's what he's doing.
Guys, we've got to the end of the show. Look, we had a lot to talk about today. Rance was getting a few things off his chest. He's back to Jose out.
Bruv, I was always
never
there,
Jose
blood.
in.
I was always
Where's
Jose.
you ain't got your upsides, you didn't bring your light with you.
Bruv, no, it's all right, blood. Next time.
Rance is like, guys, listen, we'll be back same time, same place next week. Thank you for all the love as usual. Thank you for all the interaction. Make sure you get ours on the social. I'm FlexUTD on Instagram and Twitter.
And it's Rants and Bants on Twitter and Instagram.
United Stand has reached 300,000 subscribers.
Bang.
300,000 subscribers. Look at that, man. When I first came on United Stand a year ago, probably just over, about 132K.
You see what I'm saying?
Look at that.
It's a movement.
The growth is crazy, man. We're at every game. We're giving you guys that A1 content.
Big up the support.